Hi guys, part 2 of the Jensen Interceptor. I'm going to now start on the top. I'm going to remove all the pieces that I can get to at the minute, which will be the trims that go over here, any of the latches, handles, things like that, and start pulling rubbers off as well. Everything does need to come off, so I'll just pull it off, especially this rubber at the front. Chances are this is just glued on, or it might be clamped down by this piece here, but until I dive into it, I won't know, because I've never done one of these before. I've done similar, but not a Jensen. So I'll get the tools out and I'll start dismantling. Now I generally don't use power tools on upholstery, just because if you slip with a power tool, then you could be into a lot of expense, just because you can potentially put holes in it quite easily. Oh, that's a rusty screw. So is that, oh no, the bolts. The bolts. You know what? Let's get rid of this. That is literally just a glued on piece of rubber tubing. I hate it when they get tight on the very end, or what you think is the end. And this is another reason I don't use power tools. You have no feel. to close the top. I've put some tape on the top of the screen here because when I come to close the top, there's no protection then from the metal on here, and this is covered in the same fabric as the top is covered. I don't want to damage this, don't want to have to replace this piece because I'd have to take the screen out to do that. So I'm going to save that. Right, I've not closed it all the way, just left it to that point. Now, obviously I can't latch it, I took the latches off. I may put the latches on when I come to pattern it, so then the actual frame is locked where it should be in place, rather than it being a little bit free to move, but it will move otherwise. So I'm going to have to put those back on. So I'll just kind of peel this back now and see what's going on. The wire, I said, was snapped, definitely is. It's quite an easy fix because these wires are a little bit like bike cables, same kind of fitting on the end. So, I suspect, in fact, I don't suspect, I know. I've done hoods like this before, where we have a headliner, a layer of padding, and then the top. And this is one of those. So that's the cable. Right, so the way this top is fitted, underneath here at the back, there is a piece of wood. So it's obviously shaped to the back of the vehicle, and then the top is just fastened to that, and this trim piece is put over the top. So because this has got so much gunk on the trim piece, so much silicone on the trim piece, I'm going to, I think, cut that away, remove that trim piece, and then I'm just going to pull the top off. It doesn't matter whether I rip the fixings or not. And I'm not sure what's going on under here, but we'll have a look. I'll just do one layer at a time because there's two layers of the hooding fabric underneath this. So you can see we've got the back part here, which is part with the window in, a completely separate piece, and it's only attached at the same point. The top is attached, and then the top goes over it like that, and is attached to here via a metal bar. And the metal bar was covered in vinyl. I'm not sure whether that was factory or not. I'll have to do a bit of research. So that's that side off. Yeah, this piece of wood is absolutely shocking. And another one there. Just get rid of these so they don't scratch anything. Now that I've got all the fixings off her on the bottom, I've peeled back the padding. I'll just show you what we've got and how it's constructed. So the first thing to go in is the headlining on this part from here to the front of the header bolt. That headlining goes in first and then gets attached to this bolt here. Then the back window goes in after, and the back window, the headlining is actually built into this back window part, so that goes in as one section. Between the headlining and the cover, we have this rubberized fabric that goes in there, and that goes over the top. That runs underneath the base fabric for the padding. The padding goes over the top, the edges get folded over and then get glued onto the padding, and then the top gets put on last. So quite a lot of stages to go through. But everything is just full of loads and loads and loads and loads of holes, because there must be, not an exaggeration, 60 tacks in this part here. The bottom section here, this wooden plywood form that goes up against the metal here, is completely rotted. It's delaminating with it being plywood, it's delaminating, and it's again full of holes, it's rotting. I'm not sure what you can see, but it's all rotting. It's no longer stable. The shape of this top edge is probably completely wrong, and we have to remake one of these. But getting this off, it's bolted on, and I'm assuming the bolts go through, like a coach bolt goes through, and it's accessed when you lift the boot up or the trunk. So I'm gonna have to get into there and have a look. So I'll just get rid of all this now, get me to a bare frame effectively. So that means removing loads and loads of tacks. I hope whatever the tacks go into on these bows, it's still in a reasonable condition. Sometimes the wood, they have a wooden cap that goes over the top of the metal frame. Sometimes it's a compressed fibre that goes over the top, and that's your tack strip. But until I take everything off, I won't know. So I'm going to have to drop this for the final time just to release the headline part on this header bow here, and then I'll tell you what, before I do all that, I'll just show you the state of the frame. Not in great condition, and I'll show you this piece of wood as well, close up so you can see it properly. So I think that's a fitting place to end this video. So if you enjoyed it, give it the old thumbs up. I hope you subscribed. And I hope to see you again. Thanks for watching. Bye.